Uh-oh, my headset wasn't attached. There we go. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're just having a beautiful flow of energy. Everybody coming in the room, sharing where they're from, excuse me, and how they're feeling in this moment. So welcome to you. We have lots of people always joining later on recording. So welcome to you. You're very much here present with us in the moment. Um, we are gathering for this full moon, for self-mastery in turbulent times, which is what I called this session. And just finish here as we still have people entering. We've got Mary Elizabeth, exhaustion, but also optimism. Lindsay, hi from Collingwood, transmutation, doing the deep work. Jillian from Boston, feeling exhausted. iPhone on the line. Shannon, blessings from the ancestral homeland of Lamoawi. You can help me with pronunciation. Pitt River Nation near Mount Shasta. Beautiful, feeling awake. Madrid. Pablo from Denmark. Daniela from Paris. Abby, El Dorado. Linda, Oakville, but calling from Sarasota. Grace from Sydney, Australia, half asleep, no video, that's okay. All right. Wow. Thank you, everybody, for saying hi, letting us know how you're feeling. Leslie from Firenze, welcome. Deborah Windsor, but in Mexico. Sandra in Portugal. Terry from San Diego. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much. Let's start coming into the shared awareness of who's here in the room with us. Shared awareness of our vortex here, our soul family, soul connections. Nick from Los Angeles. Not sure how you found me, but the email resonated, so I thought you'd join. Ready to check off someone's feeling a bit funky still. Well, welcome, Nick. Awesome. Great to have you. Okay, beautiful people. Thank you, thank you. Let's make sure that the line is nice and clean. If you want to be mindful to keep I think I've just muted everybody, but just so we have a nice clean recording for everyone. So welcome. Let's start diving in here. I still have people joining, but that's all good. So, I'm always so excited to gather with you all. So happy full moon. Thank you for taking the time out to share, your time, your precious energy, your frequency. It makes a difference here. And of course, we all have somewhat of a shared intention because if you're in my world, you care about your soul's path, you care about your soul work, you care about your leadership, you care about being in alignment. And so thank you. Thank you for everything that you do to walk your path, for everything that's come before, right? It's just like it's not an easy path. And that's part of the topic here today. It's not an easy path. And yet it is. We're gonna dive in some ways. What makes it challenging is the resistance we put in the way. So I titled this Self-Mastery in Turbulent Times, How to Make Your Highest Soul Level Contribution as Change Accelerates and the Old World Crumbles All Around Us. And paired it with the full moon because obviously, we're attuned to energy here. Again, that would be sort of another theme that matters to you if you're in a space like this, very likely sensitive to energy. And so we have lots to cover today. Just want to make sure to mention the basics. A little bit of housekeeping as always. I encourage you to write things down as they come to you. So if you have a pen and paper handy or you just want to grab a pen and paper, note things down as they come to you. It might be something that I say directly that jumps out at you, or it might be something that, when we enter this space together, it's why I'm saying just be aware of the whole room. Those who are here live and those who are tuning in later on recording, we have a beautiful and activating field of energy here. So it's a wonderful space, then we're going to go into the meditation. It's a wonderful space to get messages, to receive what your soul wants you to know. So, you jot down. So it might be something that I say directly that jumps out at you, might be something that you just get as a download. And it might have nothing to do with what I'm offering you, right? Always take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm here to be of service, and you're going to receive whatever you're meant to. If you have some water, that would be great. Um, Make sure you're turning off any notifications. If you're, on your computer, make sure your phone's notifications are off, even on airplane mode or off altogether. Just create this space for your soul, for our shared journey together, and we'll dive in. So we're going to do just as an overview, a quick centering and grounding to begin, to really arrive. I'm going to share some of the energies for today. I always have a few sources that I tap into. I always say, and if you're new to me, I don't believe astrology. I'm not an astrologer. I have never really studied astrology. I don't believe astrology controls us. But I do believe that on days like today, like a full moon or other kinds of portal days or activation days that are, astrologically powerful or focused on a particular theme, they're collective agreements that we make to boost certain energies and themes at certain times. And if we want to work with them, we get to in a conscious and intentional way. So that's why I bring in voices that I find useful to name the energies that are active at this moment. So if you want it to be a reinforcement for you and work with those kinds of energies, then you can. Okay, so no big attachment to astrology here, but it's also fun. I just love to gather for a good reason. It's fun to get together on days when we can all put our attention in a certain direction, right? So let's touch into a few voices that I trust around the energies of today astrologically. Then we'll dive into our topic, and I'll say some things that were coming to me about self-mastery in turbulent times. And I'd love it to be interactive, so I'm gonna ask you some questions when we get there, and then we'll go into our deeper meditation. Okay, so before we go into that, I want to say also, why am I here? Why do I host these calls? Again, like Nick said, new to me. Um, my work in the world is all about supporting entrepreneurs and executives to thrive in their soul work and leadership according to what's written in their soul blueprint. We all have a unique blueprint. And so every answer you need, every solution to every challenge, every next step you could want, it's always available. We have a specific design. And so, everything I'm about is surrendering to that, supporting, those of you who are drawn to this kind of work to surrender to that, to trust what you know, to trust your own design, to do it your way, not anyone else's way, to master your energy. It's going to be one of the things that we talk about today because it's the fabric of all existence and how we navigate reality. So I'm about hearing, trusting, and acting on your soul's truth, what it is that's written in your blueprint. I am a rapid aligner, activator, accelerator for your soul's highest path. That is my role here. I did come from the corporate world and took this, left it on a dime, overnight after attending a retreat in the rainforest, and so this is a path I've been dedicated to, and I want to help you to let your soul lead and make your soul visible in the world for the rest of us, because that's the gift that you are for us. So just a little context about me. Some of you I know really well, so thank you for being here, lending your mastery, your groundedness. Many, teachers in this space in their own right, masterful in their own right. So I'm going to ask you, all of you, to just tune in for a moment. Why are you here? What sparked you to join? What is your intention for our time together? whether it was something specific like that you saw in an invitation that I sent out, and a particular thing or a few particular things spoke to you, or it was just an energetic, like, I feel pulled, I'm meant to be there. Just take this moment to slow down and connect with your why in this moment, your why for why you're here. Okay. And so I'm going to take you deeper into a centering and grounding with that question so that you can just let your knowing come to you if it hasn't already. So you can just make yourself comfortable in whatever position feels good, supportive for your body. And as you close your eyes, just allowing yourself to become aware of your body in this position, in this seat, whether you're sitting or lying down. And the first step, just presence with yourself, just presence with what's happening in your body, noticing any sensations. Scanning maybe head to toe, and accepting, yeah, what's here, what maybe there are some particular kinds of sensations, maybe there are some particular tensions, like places that you hold tension habitually. Maybe there are areas you don't really feel anything, kind of blank. And maybe there are areas where there's energy flowing really easily and really well. Often that's in the hands and the feet. That's a trick I learned from Eckhart Tolle. Feel the insides of your hands and your feet. You might feel some energy flowing there, and you might feel energy flowing in other parts of you. And you can just observe, observing, accepting what you find, and observing also the mind. So just noticing in this moment, the mind does its thing. It has momentum, it has commentary. That's okay. Just observing. And when you are observing, you're not caught in it in the same way. That's the beauty of being a witness to any level of your being. And now just call all of your energy back to you that belongs in this moment from every person, place, and situation in every time, space, and dimension. You're just unifying here in the present moment. You're not scattered. You're here present. Fully accessing everything that's here for you, which is literally everything, all of existence, every timeline, every version of you, every solution, inspiration. And I'd invite you also to drop a grounding column from the base of your spine down through the floor, down into the earth, down through the layers of the earth, traveling with ease and with speed to a place at the center of the earth where it can connect in the perfect way, wrap around perhaps a gigantic crystal or boulder. You don't even need to know how. Intention alone is enough. But just sensing, feeling, knowing you're deeply rooted into the earth. Just allowing the magnetic pull of the earth to draw down all energies that don't belong to you. It's a habit that we pick up other people's energies as we go through our days. Let the earth pull away anybody's energy you've been holding on to in your field. And also any energy you're complete with, you're done with it. Nothing left to understand or process about it. So lots and lots can actually fall away here. You just have this sense of more space, more openness, more receptivity in your field. And you can just give conscious permission right now to receive everything that's available for you in this space. I have had literal miracles happen in a call like this, a free call for the community on a portal day. Huge shifts, aha moments, breakthroughs. So just say yes to whatever is for your highest good here. And you can also, as you're now here centered in this moment, you're grounded, you're aware of the levels of your being. I'd invite you to listen and receive with your whole being, not just the mind, not just the ears. And know you're connected with everyone else, that you can actually receive what is for your highest good, that is, because it's a group dynamic. Any insight, any breakthrough anyone else has is available to you. So just say yes for your highest good. Magic, miracles, blessings, everything that's meant for you. Only if it's for your highest good. Don't need to worry about the space is protected. There are no other energies allowed here. And so just coming back to this, what is your intention? Why did you come? What would you love to receive here? And you can stay, in a receptive meditative space if you want. This is not yet our full meditation. This is our centering and grounding. I'm going to just share a few of the energy reports that I mentioned I would. And so just to begin, I'm going to start with Lauren Gorgo, who points us to today's full moon in Leo, which is providing those new earth leaders, those at the fore, an opportunity to start a new creation cycle unimpeded by restrictions of the past. This means we are beginning a 6-month cycle of new creative expression that will birth into existence through the Lionsgate portal of August. That happens on August 8th. And that the Leo full moon is illuminating the path to this higher self-expression. So I would invite you to just become aware. This is not just a one-day experience we're having here. You actually are each of us is stepping into a 6-month creation cycle today. So just expanding your awareness to include that. Right. So and she continues, the overall message is we are headed for a new cycle of creative independence that will provide all that is required to bring our long-held visions to life. This means that all the supports that have been lacking or sporadic will become more consistent and dependable as we anchor into creatorship, and in the process, we'll show you just how powerful you truly are and why things haven't worked until now. Now, certainly they've worked to a degree. All of us have great things that we've, created, manifested, delivered as service to the world. And it's very common to have a sense of, but there's more in me. There's a mix of this vision, this knowing, and other stuff. That's the kind of path we're on. So she finishes with, remember that Leo not only lights up what lives in our hearts, but provides the passion needed to do something about it unapologetically and courageously. Okay, so just opening a path. I'm going to share also from Rewilding for Women. Of course, it's not only for women. We have men here too. It happens to be the source. The astrology is serving lioness breaking free from the zoo energy. And she says, I'm both excited and terrified. The full moon energy is pushing us to make bold changes and step into something bigger, our truer, wilder selves. It's that moment when you realize you've outgrown the container you've been in. And now you're standing on the edge of freedom at the choice point, knowing you have to leap to create change. Breaking free from the familiar can feel overwhelming, but that's exactly where the magic happens. We're also in Aquarius energy, right? So now I want to bring in another energy here, and I'm going to be speaking to this when we go into self-mastery in turbulent times. So this is from Lindsay Diamond. The collective is experiencing a massive destabilization. For those who have relied on external attachments for identity, validation, or emotional stability, the shift is becoming unavoidable. The old structures of false security are dissolving. Many are feeling a deep sense of loss, emptiness, or emotional chaos. This is not punishment. It is the unraveling of dependency, forcing people to face their own instability. This is the collapse of external reliance. The era of bypassing deep self-awareness is over. Those who cannot self-anchor will either spiral, project, or finally choose to face themselves. And lastly, the life reformer, 5555. The full moon tonight asks you to own parts of you that you've kept hidden and buried. The energies of Leo ask you to stop waiting and to choose you, to shine, to speak up and express your truth. Don't let anyone take away your light. Expect the energies tonight to create breakthroughs for some and prosperity for others. This night will shake things up, bring magical surprises, and strengthen connections of love. Expect a rebirth for those who have rejected themselves, releasing patterns of self-sabotage. It's all about self-love and self-acceptance. It's time to deepen your relationships, ignite passion, choose romance, and then strengthen your voice and shine so bright that you believe you deserve everything you desire and dream of. And so just as you see what jumped out at you, again, as I said, take what resonates, leave the rest, see what jumps out at you. What might you note down? And there are two quite obvious energies in what I shared. One, of course, this kind of heavier energy of collapse of external reliance. Those who cannot self-anchor will either spiral, project, or finally choose to face themselves. And then this invitation to step fully into the boldness of your vision, whatever the next level of leadership is for you, whatever the heart of your next soul project, what you're bringing forward for 2025 and beyond. And so I'm curious because I wanted to speak to, before we go into the deeper meditation, I wanted to speak to this idea of self-mastery in turbulent times because we have a lot going on, obviously, in the world. And so I'm curious, when I sent the invitation, I gave an example of, 5 different things you might be experiencing right now in your experience of what's happening in you, around you. I said, perhaps it's been challenging to hear your intuition and or stay in your center. Like, see if any of these, like if you saw these, Did one or more of these resonate for you? I'd love some interaction here to know where you're at. So has it been challenging to hear your intuition and or stay in your center? Have you been finding yourself reactive to or overwhelmed by external events? Are you not quite sure how to be in highest service in chaotic times and energies? Are you not yet sure of your soul level priorities for 2025? Or maybe you haven't yet taken action on what you've already been guided to do? Or you want to be able to freely navigate reality and any kind of circumstance that comes up in your personal world, in your global experience of life, the larger global experience. You want to be able to navigate reality in any kind of circumstance from the truth of your soul without getting stuck in the muck of it all. So, did one or more of those resonate for you, and or is there something else that brought you here? Again, a topic is self-mastery in turbulent times. So Joy is saying massive sneezing fits right now. Everything you've just said and more, Lisa. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. Joy, that's awesome. Andrea, somewhat conflicting soul goals. Abby, the last couple of points, which was not quite clear on your soul priorities, soul level priorities, not yet taking action on not taking action on what you've been guided to, wanting to be able to navigate freely any kind of circumstances from this truth of your soul and not get stuck in the muck of it all. Michelle had a sneezing fit too. Interesting that, sneezing, my understanding, sneezing can really indicate moving energy. Energy's moving. So like whatever's happening is perfect. Let yourself, whatever your body is doing, let it move the energy. Nancy, bingo, the last one for me. Okay. Kezia, the last one especially. Marlo, yes to being able to freely navigate reality and any kind of circumstances without getting stuck in the muck of it all. Awesome. Linda, been more challenging to listen to my intuition and stay centered. Sandra, not sure how to put myself out there. Beatrice, the last two. Dale, wanting to be able to navigate and reactive to wanting to be able to navigate and reactive. I think you mean not be reactive to external events. Mary Elizabeth feeling hidden. Great. Okay, thanks for that, everybody. Beautiful. Anybody else, let me know. Cass, confusion about what priority to focus on from different components of life, home, business, soul. Okay, super. Yeah, great to hear you. Carrie, I am in it, but not of it. I observe the chaos, but attempt to catch myself if I want to criticize or judge. Great. Okay. Great to hear. And so for whatever's happening for you, whether you commented or not, what do you want less of? And what do you want more of? Or just pick one. What do you want more of? What do you want less of? And then you'll know what the opposite is, right? Shannon saying, I want to release the belief systems that are holding me back from stepping into my soul's mission. Sandra, more clarity. Andrea, less noise, more clarity. More soul from Carolyn. Sandra, deepen intuition. Great. Great. So like everybody, I really invite you to like take this on. What do you want more of? What do you want less of? Find the opposite if that's helpful. If you only know one, then you can always find the other. Cass wants more space in my life. Okay, great. Great, great, great. Okay, and feel free to keep sharing. Carrie, deepen intuition. Dale, less fear about what people in power are setting into motion, right? Shannon, more heaven on earth. What beautiful souls, right? Like beautiful, beautiful souls, beautiful what you're all wanting here. So yeah, feel free to keep sharing. I'm gonna just start what I wanted to offer you about, and it starts with a personal story about navigating these turbulent times in a way of self-mastery. Joy is saying, usually such a calm, happy person. I've struggled terribly last month. I feel I need to let go of everything, but the fear overwhelms. Yes, I hear you. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you, everybody. We are in extremely challenging times. And the story that I wanted to share was back in the year 2000. So we are talking 25 years ago already. I was working for an internet incubator. I had left my corporate job the year prior. I did a year's worth of training and got my master level certification in NLP. So I was a certified coach. I was very deep into my journey, very much accelerating through it. I joined an internet incubator, was hired to be one of five coaches on their team. They were so ahead of their time. And it was, it had been a time when the internet, these were early days of the internet. Internet incubator was really designed to help online companies grow, um, different thinking kind of companies, very, very leading edge kind of businesses that were being birthed. And so this was a very, very cool environment to find myself in. And when I came to the end of my term there, I received a gift. And the gift was a book. They, thanked me for my contribution. And I received a book from the head coach there called Sunlight on Water. And that book was like a thick, like a textbook, soft cover, but thick like a textbook. And I could not get enough of this book. Like I'm reading it cover to cover. I remember was going on a trip. I was with my family. We were going to, I don't know where, we were in the car. And like the book came with me. I'm like reading the book, highlighting the book. And there were many, many things about this book that were incredible, but and one of them was about embodying the light body. And I was learning things that I didn't know much about yet. And it was talking about the coming times. One of the things that it was outlining chapter by chapter was the changes that were coming in our society. And the times that we're living in have been prophesied by many sources. Many, many, many wisdom keepers throughout history have talked about this time. And this particular book was like my portal into this time that we're living in now. And it talked about the change in the structures of society, every structure, every area, every aspect of society, from business to education to health to political structures to literally the infrastructure of our society. Everything was going to change. And there was one piece of wisdom that I received from that. And these were early days. I'm early in my journey. I've just left my corporate life. I've gone on this new adventure. I'm really it's like I've jumped a timeline. I mean, I've jumped many, many timelines since then. I jumped a timeline, was living on a completely different trajectory. And these are still relatively peaceful times. I was talking back then about doing work you love, like the same, I was coded for it. So the same message I have today was the message I had then, but not a lot of people were talking about it. Was, much more peaceful times than it is now. And something about this message in this book stuck out at me so clearly. And that's what I want to share with you today. What it said was, when everything starts collapsing, do not put your attention on what is dying. Put your attention on what is being built. And part of the reason for that, and I've had, many teachings, teachers, mentors over the years, my own downloads, what's come through me as a channel to others. This is not a news flash, but there was something about the way that it was transmitted through that book that I want to offer you here. We are in a time where the collective shadow of humanity is surfacing, and it's surfacing big time, and it is not going to stop. For those of us who have been on a transformational journey for however long, some of us for a very long time, some of us on a rapid awakening path, more recent, You know that when you go through your own awakening, you must face your own shadows. There is no way around it. To live in alignment with the soul, there must be a reconciliation with the human parts of you that lived in separation, that believed they were alone, right? We have a human born into a certain family system, not probably in most of our cases fully met, very sensitive to energy, not fully seen, not fully heard, nervous system not regulated, born into a frequency soup, a lot of energies, a lot of patterns, a lot of stuff, right? That human grows up, develops coping mechanisms, and then you end up on your spiritual path, on your journey, and all of a sudden, the human that has been on this journey and lived this experience of separation has the opportunity to come back home to the soul. The soul becomes more embodied. And the healing path is one of welcoming the parts of self home. These shadows that have been alone, things we aren't proud of that we did, things that were, um, seemed like self-sabotage, seemed to be, working against us. Like all of these get to then reconcile on this kind of path that we're on. So what we're seeing in the world is the collection, the collective over millennia of the same microcosm that we go through personally, displayed on the world stage collectively. There have been atrocities since the beginning of time. What do these atrocities, what do these abuses of power, what do these, whatever you're opposed to right now in the world, these are the collective shadows that have been there all along. They just have a different face, a different name, a different seeming set of circumstances. But the world that we're seeing, for the most part, if you look out collectively, is the manifestation, is the surfacing of everything that has come before. And you could say there is, some people call it a timeline split. So some of us who've been on this journey for quite some time, we are here to be the stability, to be the bringers of light, to be anchored between heaven and earth, immovable. Does it mean we don't have triggers anymore? No, of course we have triggers. But our ability to be in self-mastery is what allows us to bring the new through us into the world. That collapsing world, it has to be replaced. You cannot, it's a different consciousness. So the way that the political system doesn't work, the way that the financial system doesn't work, the way that the health system doesn't work, the way that the education system doesn't work, those are not going to be fixed. They are going to be replaced. And if you understand the quantum nature of reality and your own multidimensional nature, you might recognize, and I would invite you to recognize, and again, take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm speaking it the way it's coming through, right? Take what resonates, leave the rest. And I'm going to just continue to be very direct to say, that which is crumbling, when you understand your multidimensional nature, you will understand, when you understand the quantum nature of reality, what you put attention on, you give life to. All of those experiments in quantum physics, the double slit experiment, the observer affects the outcome, right? There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of loudness as the old dies. If you put your attention, your resistance to it, your anger towards it, your pushing against it, you are literally prolonging its life. Don't get me wrong. I am not saying there might not be action for you to take. But self-mastery in turbulent times means I am in my center and I am moving from wisdom. I am moving from guidance. I am moving from inspiration. I am moving from knowing. So that I am a neutral, I have brought myself back to center to the best of my ability before I'm taking an action, so that the energy infused into what I do, if there is something I am called to do that is relevant to the current scenario, I have to do something with my bank, I have to do something with my local politician, I have to, yes, great. If you're truly moved to do it, move from wisdom, move from stability, so that your words carry a different resonance, so that the impact on those you speak to carry a different impact. But if you get caught in the sticky, glommy muck of what is dying and you match it with your triggers that are not healed, your triggers that are not alchemized within yourself, if there's not sufficient self-mastery, you are literally not only prolonging that reality, but tying yourself to it. When what we're calling you forward into is bringing your gifts, bringing your open-heartedness, your peace, your joy, your inspiration, your genius. What is your soul wanting to express next? How much life force is being taken up by the noise, by what is collapsing? It's dead, it's dying, it's going. And to the degree that you're in resonance with any of those old energies, that let them be a mirror, a chance to alchemize what arises in you when you're outraged about something. But remember that it is the collective shadow that we have all co-created together. We were all unconscious at one time, and we all contributed to the reality that we are living in. This is a time of radical responsibility, radical alignment, radical alchemy, and radical joy, radical peace. That's available. But it requires self-mastery. So, some people refer to this as a hologram, right? We are a microcosm of the macrocosm. How you are navigating, the frequency that you are emanating is, again, at a quantum level, then what you will see emerging from the quantum field. Nothing is as solid as it seems. Reality can shift like that. Yes, we have a collective agreement. It's going to take time for the collective agreements to play themselves out. What has been corrupt, what has been cruel, what has been evil, what has been unfair, all of those themes, they all have to be seen for what they are. Just like your own personal shadow needs to be met in order to be alchemized. But if we hate it, if we push back on it, we're literally working against ourselves. We're resonating then with it in a way that gives it more life. What actually it's calling for, like any part of you that is coming home for completion, is acceptance, allowance. Oh, I see you. This is looking with your third eye, looking with your soul's eyes, not your physical eyes. It's seeing through the circumstances, which is why so many of you resonate with the last two things that I had listed. You want to be in alignment with your soul's priorities. And you want to be able to navigate reality freely without circumstances binding you so that your soul can guide you and you're not getting stuck in the muck. That's who you really are. That's what you're here for. You're here to create the most magnificent version of heaven on earth that you can. So when your personal hologram gets created, your personal heaven on earth gets created in your reality because you're mastering yourself and you keep choosing your soul instead of investing your energy in what's dying and what's pushing on all your triggers. No, you're mastering yourself and you're giving life to realigning to your heaven on earth. And what happens when each of us realigns to our individual heaven on earth? You create the thing that brings you joy. You connect with the people that you're meant to, your soul family, the soul level clients you're meant to serve, whoever it is. When you make that your priority, then we have because it's a holographic nature of reality, we then have a greater and greater stabilizing of the heaven on earth hologram that more and more people can step into because they have to come to their own reckoning too. Everybody is going to come over time. It's going to take a while for sure. But we are on the leading edge. You're on a call like this, you're on the leading edge. It's your role. It's your duty without being heavy about it. You know, I see it as my responsibility to thrive, to be in my joy, to master myself. And I'm on the journey like everybody else. I definitely get my stuff triggered. I definitely, I have to do the same work everybody else does. That's what gave rise to my body of work. And I just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Like I say, mastery is practice of the basics over and over again. So Steve is saying, I've never heard this described better. Thank you. That's great. I'm glad that it's landing. So what I want to do is move into our deeper meditation now. And I want to share with you through this meditation, first two pillars that I'm always working with. One is softening resistance to what you're pushing against and strengthening your connection to your soul and the frequency that you are here to be. Your soul is a frequency. You're here to be that for the rest of us, and you're meant to make that soul visible for the rest of us to enjoy, right? So we're going to move into that deeper part of the meditation now and receive some guidance from your soul. And I just want to, thank you for being here because to me, there's literally nothing more important than what we're talking about here. That that we are taking the chance to be together, strengthen our collective efforts, and focus ourselves on being in clarity and alignment and moving in harmony and alignment, in proactivity from the soul. So make yourself comfortable again if you kind of got out of your meditative kind of position. Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you, Josette. Love you. I just love all of you. Like you're just, they're such pure hearts and warrior spirits. It does not, it's not an easy path. Yeah, Shannon, except that I've created pain and chaos in my life. I'm excited to see what's next for my life and I co-create with Source. Beautiful, right? And there's no judgment. Like that's the thing. It's time to drop the judgment of what we did the best we could, all of us, with what we received, right? We did the best we could. So let's go into closing the eyes. And just receiving, I'm appreciating the feedback and feeling so inspired. Thank you, Cass. I'm so glad. Yes, but sometimes we do need to zoom out to the bigger picture, right? See the bigger picture. We get caught in the trees, and it's okay. So, as you tune back in, just see what's stirring in you, what landed for you, what feels true about this. What's alive in your spirit, in your soul from what you've heard? What's your knowing? What's your truth that's coming to the forefront of your awareness? Maybe you want to jot that down even. Some people like to jot as they go, or you can jot down at the end, right? Just can't get it wrong. So you're present, calling all your energy back to you. If any of it kind of flew away, mind sent it away, you can call it all back. Check your grounding column is still in place. Let your column of golden white light flood in from the heart of source above your head, pouring into your body and the space around you, at least 2 feet on all sides. This light is carrying the exact frequency or frequencies that are right for you for this moment. Pouring into every one of your cells, bringing activation codes and light codes to support you. Your DNA is being activated in the perfect way. And this light is upgrading your nervous system, your mental body, your emotional body, your neural pathways, your energy centers, everything getting an upgrade here. And it's washing down into the ground anything that's a little like debris. Maybe it's something a little more dense or stuck, and it can just find it, loosen it, wash it into the ground. You're suspended here between heaven and earth as the bridge that you are and that only you can be. Connected below, connected above. And just receive in this moment how essential you are to the whole, to all of us. I'm going to give you just an opportunity to flash in your mind's eye, just bring your awareness to anything that you've been pushing against. It could be personal, something in your life, in your business, in your finances, in your health. Whatever comes to mind, might be in a relationship. Pick one thing. You can do this again for any other thing or aspect of your life. Just focus there. And it might be something in the broader world that's really been pushing your buttons. Political situation, economic situation, something systemic. And as you're aware of what that is, just notice the resistance in you, where it is in your body, how it shows up. Maybe tension in the body or a sensation in the body in some way, and it might be a tension or a resistance in the head, in the mind, or it could be a tightness in the emotions. And as you're aware of it, and as you're aware of how it kind of pushes that button in you, I invite you to just soften. Like I sometimes give the analogy of, when you're in a tug of war, playing the game tug of war, and you've got two, let's say just two people pulling at each end of the rope. As soon as one drops the rope, the game is over. There is no tension left. So maybe you use that metaphor, maybe you just generally allow yourself to soften. You can soften the physical tension in the body or the physical sensations that you notice. You can just soften any resistance towards them, just be with them. Softening any tension in the mind, softening any tension in the emotions, and witness. What is it that this thing that bothers you, that you've been resisting against? What is its gift? Because it absolutely has one. And the gift may be what it shows you inside yourself that is hurting, or where you might have given away power, or where you need to be giving more attention to yourself. Allow yourself to receive the gift of bringing your attention back to you. Whenever something is triggering you, it's never about the other person or the circumstance. It is always to shine a light on something that is seeking resolution inside you, seeking love, seeking presence, which is the same thing. Unconditional love is presence. Presence is unconditional love. Find the part of you. Maybe it correlates to a memory that's coming to mind, or an aspect of you that's a certain age that went through something, often very young. 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. What this person or situation makes you feel is a part of you that got stuck in time, feeling powerless, feeling alone. I'm just giving you examples, but you would explore for yourself. What is this thing you've been resisting showing you about you and a part of you that needs your attention in order to let it come home, resolve, complete? None of these old patterns want to run anymore. They're tired. They're tired. Your job is to complete them in you so that you don't resonate with it outside yourself anymore and you move more freely. Everything is you pushed out, as the saying goes. And so just allowing maybe even some light or just the feeling of peace or presence to surround and infuse the part of you you've discovered or the sensations you're connected with. It's really that simple. That's the practice of non-resistance. Fully allowing what is surfacing in you in the face of something you are resisting against. It is so simple and so powerful. Don't let the mind tell you it's too much so. Maybe you're aware, expanding your awareness to everyone else in this space, live and on recording. Recognizing and just being with what they were resisting. aware of the part in them or the sensations in them that were activated by the thing externally. That liberation. We can call on the violet flame here. I haven't used that in a long time, but it's there in awareness. Anything that you're aware of, we can allow the violet flame. It just, the violet flame of transmutation just allows whatever is ready to be complete to burn in the fires of alchemy. You can just stay present and bring love. Acceptance, allowance, space. For this part, so much compassion, calling on the energy of compassion. And maybe you notice that whatever that energy or sensation was, maybe it's still there exactly like it was, but it knows you see it. Maybe it's morphed. Maybe it's even dissolved altogether. It's never about trying to get rid of it. It is always about just allowing it so fully. It can evolve in its own way. Push it, reject it, judge it, it'll stick like crazy glue. And so in this space, also going to invite you to just let that continue, right? You just let that continue, or maybe it's completed itself, but just allow yourself to become aware of a time and place you felt most like yourself. A time and place that you just felt natural sense of joy and aliveness, just being so fully you. Whatever memory comes, it could be one or more memories, it could be a past memory, and it also could be a future memory. Like a scene of you on a stage sometimes comes to people's minds as an example, like the fulfillment of your vision. Trust whatever comes to you. There's a sense of, this is me. Sometimes I like to say, you might find yourself in a place you love in this memory, or doing some kind of activity you love in this memory, or you're with one or more people who really get you. And as you see what you see, hear what you hear in this experience, pay attention to how you feel. When you're feeling so fully yourself, like you're in your favorite outfit, it makes you feel like you. That is the feeling that you came here to be. That is the frequency of your own soul. The energy you came to be for the rest of us. And the energy you're here to make visible in the world. And so while we soften what you've been pushing against, we here are strengthening who you really are. This is the essence of self-mastery. And in the feeling of you and the connection to this feeling of you, this is what connects you to the parallel timeline to this one that we could call your heaven on earth. There are infinite timelines in this space. Quantum reality is infinite. And there is a timeline where this frequency of your soul is fully expressed in this world in a way that is your heaven on earth. And I would invite you to just let that be easy. The feeling of your soul connects you with this timeline and the version of you that lives on that timeline that we could call your future self, or your higher self, or your soul self. And just let this version of you come into your awareness in whatever form. It might be a form like you, a version of you. It might come to you in some other way, an image, a symbol, an animal. Let this symbolic representation of your own soul embodied come right up in front of you, close up, so that you can connect through the eyes and the heart if that's relevant. Or connect in whatever way feels true. Maybe you see a version of you that represents who you're becoming. Your fully soul embodied self. You might notice how they appear, how they're dressed, how they feel to you, how strongly they emanate your frequency. And just allow yourself to receive a first message. What does this highest, wisest advisor want to say to you? Anything, could be anything. In words, images, symbols, or feelings. Just any opening message for you. Trusting what you get. And if there's something that your soul would like you to know that is a priority for you to bring into the world, sometimes I call it a soul project. It doesn't have to be a project per se. It could be just even a new habit or a change to the layout of your bedroom. It could be anything. Open to receive that now. What does your soul want you to know about what to bring into form that expresses your soul next? What would be of highest service to yourself and everyone else for you to make your soul visible in this way? And if you want guidance specifically on your soul work in the world, you can open specifically for that. What is highest priority? What is your soul most wanting to bring into form? That makes a difference for our collective in the direction we are going, not the direction we have been. The direction you are going, not the direction you have been. Trusting whatever that is. And just acknowledging the power of the simplicity of these simple steps we've taken, softening the resistance to what is. And strengthening your connection to who you really are and what you're here for. Trusting you've received what's perfect, saying thank you to your soul. Thank you for what you've received. Taking a nice breath. Aware of your body in this seat, in this position, aware of the surface below you, behind you, if you're leaning on a backrest. Trusting you perceived exactly what you needed to. And of course, you can always do this again. So as you come back to awareness, wiggling fingers and toes, gentle movement, a gentle twist or stretch. Slowly opening your eyes when you're ready. And maybe you want to capture with your pen and paper something you received, a message, a next step, a soul project. If you want to share with us, I would love to hear in the comments what your experience was like. And as you're coming back, regrounding in the now, in this time and place, I always say after these journeys, do not underestimate what you've experienced, how reality reorganizes around you because it is not solid. It is very malleable. So as you shift your energy and your frequency, you have new potentials around you right now. Just know that. I always recommend to hydrate a little extra. I would put some salt, a few grains of salt in your water or some lemon juice. Get some minerals and electrolytes in there. If there's anything you want to share, please do. And I will share something also brief with you, which is this is my work. This is clearly my focus. I've been getting the very strong message to strengthen these practices so that the leading edge change agents, the facilitators of this new earth that we're building, the heaven on earth that we're building, stabilize in their frequency and soften resistance to what's dying so that their soul work can come into the world, their next soul project. That's the nature of what I've been doing. Some of you have done this work with me privately. Some of you have joined groups with me. Last year in 2024, I hosted a group 4 times, a boot camp, kind of not boot camp's not really my word, but like an intensive, a 4-week intensive that I called it most recently Master Your Frequency. We did a run of it in December. I am going to expand that container. It's a 4-week container. It's becoming at least 6 weeks instead of 4 weeks. It might become 8. I'm going to be adding components to it. So this is a little bit of a preview. I'm heading on retreat. I'm going to retreat on the other side of Mexico for 12 days on Saturday from the 15th to the 27th of February. So I'm going to be out. So I thought, well, when I come back, that's when we're gonna be starting this group in March. So I will have more details about that, but I can tell you right now 2 things. Funny thing that happened before I jumped on this call. One is we will be practicing. The nature of the 4-week journey was practicing softening resistance, no longer resisting what is, and aligning with your frequency and strengthening it in your being. And then taking steps from that place, that alignment, that is still the foundation of what we're going to be doing together. But I'm adding components to do with your soul project so that it can start moving into form. And I'm going to be adding a component about upgrading your identity, because who you've believed yourself to be and who you really are in this body needs to upgrade. As we move from frequency number 1, which is what I call it, the old, into frequency number 2, we are embodying a different identity. So we're going to be expanding to not only master your frequency, but apply it to your identity and to what you're bringing into the world. So there will be more, um, yeah, more details coming around it. But I'll tell you what I got before I jumped on here. For those of you who are like, I'm in, I have no details of it, I'm in no matter what, you can jump in. I'm going to offer it at the same incredible offering I made in December. It was originally 888 when I ran it the first time. Last year I did it with a smaller group. We ran it for 222 last time. Anybody who wants to jump in now, all the details will come. We'll start in March. You want to jump in now, I'm not going to be offering it for 222. If you want to jump in because your knowing says yes, great. You can jump in for 222 or 2 by 122. For anybody who wants a rapid soul alignment session with me, a 90-minute deep dive into your particular situation, your particular soul project. It's very rapid alignment, very rapid clarity. You can do that with me and you'll receive Master Your Frequency included. So, and that's 1,500 for the session. You'll get Master Your Frequency included. So I'm going to drop these in here and I'll send them in with the replay as well. And then I'm going to come to your comments. I'm going to do these one at a time. And if you have any questions, we can, but this is just literally for fun. Like you're like, yep, I'm in no matter what. You can jump in right now. It will not be this price when I offer it in March. And if you want to do the rapid soul alignment and receive Master Your Frequency included, we can do that. Now, let me go back to your comments. That's what I got. These are for my peeps who've been through it and want to do it again because and we're going to the next level of it. And also for those of you you're like, my soul's telling me, yes, I'm doing it. Julie, I was amazed to find behind my resistance to what? I hear you. Yeah. Helen has to jump off. You're so welcome. Carrie, much gratitude. Continuing confirmation of what I'm mastering at this time. I love it. Leslie, I had strong, calm energy that was very relaxing to feel. Beautiful. Marlo and Dwayne, so glad you were both here with us. Abby, relaxing, dreamy, insightful, powerful, enlivening. So much gratitude, Lisa. Focus on growth. Amazing. Dale had to hop off. Dale, Lisa, I don't want to leave early, but made a commitment to someone. I made the right choice to spend this time with your wisdom and leadership. Thank you so much. You're so welcome, Dale. I hope you come back and listen to the rest later. Whoever's on the iPhone and said, I love you, Lisa. Thank you. So much love back to you. I don't know who it is. Andrea, thank you so much, Lisa. I need to jump off and we'll listen to the meditation on the replay. In the meantime, here's what I got today. Grounding into truth, connecting with soul-aligned people, clarity around next steps. Love your work and want to be kept in the loop about what you're working on. Awesome. Thank you, Andrea. Oh yeah, I think that's where we left off. Thank you. Feeling so inspired right now. Thank you for reminding us the bigger picture and focus. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here, Daniela. Gratitude for you, Lisa. Gratitude for you, Daniela. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Julie said, actually, I was amazed to find, I think you were editing your comment from before. I was amazed to find behind my resistance to what's happening with our government, a sad, scared child. After sitting with that a while, I also recalled a past life as a very angry slave. This was very healing. Wow, that is so powerful, i.e. powerlessness illusion. Beautiful, Julie. Well done. See, this is where we are reclaiming parts of ourselves from other lifetimes, other timelines. It's incredible. Joy, you're so welcome. Patricia, thank you, Lisa. I gained some clarity into what I've been experiencing. I love it. That's great. Anik, I just woke up, so I'll catch the replay. Great. Yeah, you'll be getting that before too long. Beautiful. I'm so grateful. Anybody else who wants to share anything, please do before we wrap up. And I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, for participating, for those who want to jump in and take the next journey together. I'd be delighted to have you. And Linda, thank you so much, dear Lisa. Feeling much more empowered from when I started today. Love it. That's great. Carolyn, you're so welcome. Yeah, just blessings to you all, and I'll be around the next few days. If you have any questions, you can also reach out to me. Samantha, thank you so much. Have a great retreat. Have to jump off. Yes, bye for now, Sam. Um, yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to me, and I am sure, downloading even more as I am on this retreat. So, lots and lots been, powerfully shifting in my reality and my awareness as well. So, um, yeah, I think Dale's saying, thank you. Softening resistance was so helpful. I'm so glad. Yeah, amazing. All right, beautiful people. Sending you off with much love, many blessings, more to come. Thank you for being here and your service in the world. And yeah, to be continued. Okay, bye for now.